Yeah, Lysell will be in, and VL will come out tonight.
In terms of the scouting report on the Canadians, what can you tell us?
Really good offensive team, especially in the offensive zone. They move the puck well around the offensive zone, spread you out. They do a good job with their seam plays in zone. So it's going to be an area of focus for us, again, making sure that we're good defensively. On the flip side, we feel like offensively we can hopefully take advantage of some of their I don't want to say deficiencies, but maybe areas that not as strong as not their strong suit is their defensive game, and making sure that we're holding on to pucks in their zone. Creating some more zone time is going to be important for us here tonight. You got to wear teams out a little bit more, and that's something we're trying to do here.
What stands out to you about Lane Hudson's game?
Well, a lot right now. I mean, he comes into the league, and people were talking about whether or not maybe he was going to be able to, be the player he is, and certainly he's surpassed that. I think what stands out for me is his feet and his brain. His skating ability and his brain. He gets himself out of so much trouble because of his lateral movement, his skating ability. His feet allow him to do a lot of things, and then he's got what seems like a real high hockey IQ out there.
With Lysell, you mentioned matchup decision last game. How do you balance that versus at this point in the season, hey, just throw him into any situation and see how he does?
Yeah, I think he's played 5 games since he's been called up, 4 or 5 games since he's been called up, and he's it's a learning curve for everyone. I think you balance that out by understanding that the player needs to be thrown into situations that we can try to help him succeed in. Doesn't mean that he's not going to have opportunities to play, but I think with him it's just about making sure that he understands that it's a hard league, and every game where you play, you have to show up and you have to be ready to compete. And like I said, it's a learning curve. And but we'll do our best to make sure that we're trying to put him in situations where he can have success.
How does he seem to be handling things? Just the mental grind being up here.
Yeah, okay. I think he's doing fine there. I think he had one game earlier in the season with us. It was just the one quick game, and then coming back up here, I think he's done a better job with his preparation in Providence, getting him ready this time around as far as dealing with everything that you have to at this level. Providence is not, the American Hockey League is not an easy league to play in. Schedule, just the way the games are played, but when you come up to this league, it's another level, right? And it's just about finding your niche out there and making sure that you're working on your strengths are solid, but your other parts of your game you have to continue to build on too. But I think his mindset's been good. I think that his preparation's been good, and he's putting a lot of work into it right now.
Joe, ultimately, do you think Martin Geekie is a left wing for a long term?
I don't know, Fluto. I wouldn't just say that he's just a left wing. He has versatility in his game, which is good. He can't play either center or right wing. Right now, the spot for him is left side, so I think that's opened up another avenue for him, right? It's another option, which is really good to have as a player. I mean, when you're a forward and you can play all 3 positions, that's a pretty good thing to have under your belt.
We don't see too many right shot guys on the left side. What is it about his game, his thinking, that makes him?
Well, I think that one is he's seeing the game offensively well, and when you play the offside, sometimes you can see things a little bit better coming off the wall as opposed to being on your strong side. You get into the middle of the ice more, and the other thing is his ability to get open for the one-timer on the offside. With Pasta or Pav, whoever has the puck, his ability to open up on those entries coming into the offensive zone and getting himself into a shooting position on the one-timer side, it's just a quicker release and it gets to the net there.
No, I'm super excited to be back in the lineup. Sometimes it's good to see the game from a different view, and I thought you guys played a really good game last game, so hopefully we can continue to do that and try and get a win.
What did you notice about that view when you were watching the game?
I thought that, we competed really hard, played pretty structured, and created a lot of chances. It was pretty even there, and against a really good team. So it was nice to see.
In terms of, you only played a handful of games so far at the NHL level, but what have you learned about the game so far here?
Just got to make decisions quicker. You don't have time to hesitate with the puck or without the puck. You gotta move your feet at all time, and have the courage to try to get inside.
Do you put pressure on yourself in terms of points, goals, or do you try to just focus on other stuff?
No, of course I'm an offensive guy, so I want to produce and I want to create chances. So yeah, of course I put a little bit of pressure on myself, and I think that's good too, because then it motivates you to always try to push forward. And if things are not going your way, you always like work harder. So yeah, for sure.
Here in Montreal, obviously a great history in this rivalry. How much are you looking forward to being on the ice for it?
Yeah, it's gonna be super cool. Haven't played here before, haven't been here before, so yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.